didn't see that coming. Suzuki has just announced a brand new third generation of the iconic, there's very little else you can call it, GSX1300R Hayabusa. So yeah, this has just come out tonight, so we're going to just quickly run through the highlights to give you the basics really on this new generation Hayabusa and what we can expect. Currently it's too early to say how much it's going to cost or roughly when it's going to arrive in dealerships, but these are the nuts and bolts changes, and there are quite a few that Suzuki's put together for this third generation bike, so let's get into it. If you're expecting Suzuki to put in a turbo motor like has long been rumoured for the Hayabusa, sorry to burst your bubble, that hasn't happened. Instead, they've completely gone through the 1300cc naturally aspirated engine, given it a full thorough refresh. It's got a whole swathe of changes in there, new camshafts, optimised exhaust, it's got so many changes. Now it meets Euro 5 emissions, which was always going to be the big killer of the previous Hayabusa. As a result, it has lost a little bit of peak power. I think it's around, 140 kilowatts versus 145 of the old bike. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually, according to Suzuki, faster, quicker to 100 and quicker to 200 than the previous generation by 0.2 and 0.1 of a second. So not only has the engine received a heap of refinements, it's got an optimised exhaust, redesigned S-Rad intake system, new cams, revised engine internals for better durability, ride-by-wire throttle control, and it's also been brought up to date with a Bosch supplied IMU. So IMU measures basically where on the planet the bike is in terms of its position, its momentum and everything, and that allows a whole lot of additional electronic controls which the Hayabusa hasn't had before. So riders can opt for preset settings to suit riding conditions and varying road surfaces, as well as their level of confidence and experience. And those last two really come into play for the Hayabusa. It is nearly 200 horsepower. It is still able to reach nearly 300 kilometers an hour. Take it with a grain of salt whether or not Suzuki has a hard limiter in there for this bike or not. We'll see. So included in the new electronic system, it's the latest version of Suzuki's intelligent ride system. You have a whole lot of, you've got 3 power modes: traction control, anti-lift control, engine braking control, and a bi-directional quick shifter. Plus, if you really like to go to the drag strip or you just like to be an utter hoon from a stop, you got launch control, or if you like to cruise around, there's also cruise control in there, which is a pretty well-rounded set of electronics, really. Now, Suzuki says the new Hayabusa was developed not only to achieve an even higher overall balance of performance and comply with stringent Euro 5 emission standards, but also to capture the hearts of both devoted followers and those who lay eyes on the stunning beauty and sharper, tauter form of its bold new design. So in a nutshell, they've made it look better, which, depending on who you ask, is a good thing. Aesthetically, it's got sharper lines, redesigned front cowling section where the S-Rad system goes in, so that's your Suzuki Ram Air D, whatever D stands for, Suzuki's Ram Air system. The air intakes are different. Lighting is now also provided by LEDs, yeah, it's a really good looking bike. One element they've tried to keep very familiar while also at the same time giving it a really big hit with the upgrade stick is the dash. So it still has that same analog speedo tacho layout. You've got an analog fuel gauge and an analog temperature gauge on the outside, but they've given it a TFT in the middle to sort of bring it up to speed, and the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge are ringed with this gold lining, and it just looks so cool. So yeah, cool thing with the dash, turn it on, Hayabusa logo comes up, similar to what a lot of those European brands do. Moto Guzzi, for instance, Moto Guzzi logo comes up. Suzuki's done that with the Hayabusa logo. When you turn it off, the Suzuki logo appears. It's really cool. It's a nice bit of modernisation, but it's not sort of putting a big tablet-like TFT display in there like you see in a lot of new bikes, which is a bold move by Suzuki, let's be fair. What else have they done? The chassis itself is 700 grams lighter, and the suspension's been redeveloped, so still has KYB inverted forks with 43 millimeter outer diameter diamond-like coating coated inner tubes. They've been revise the internal structure to improve the fork's ability to absorb the road surface and ensure a smoother, more stable ride with optimum grip. Always a good thing when you've got that much power on such a big bike. Yeah, coming to a stop. Obviously, if you're going to be doing nearly 300 kph, you want to have some really good stoppers. Suzuki's come to the party here. They have got Brembo Stylema calipers on bigger discs that have basically all been optimized for best cooling and braking response, so that's really, really cool. The bike will also launch, according to Suzuki's press release, with a full range of accessories including luggage, but as for when we can expect that launch for our part of the world here in Oceania, that is at the moment still to be decided, or at least to be revealed to us. So if you want to know more about the Suzuki Hayabusa, I'll be chucking up a more detailed story at onthrottle.co.nz, or you can check out the next issue of Kiwi Rider magazine, or stay tuned here for YouTube, where I hope to do a bit more on this really, really cool third generation Hayabusa. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, all that doodad stuff, and yeah, keep the rubber side down and on that throttle.